Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another amazing Wow VIP Tribe Masterclass that is really amazing business building tools at your fingertips with the membership. So I'm so excited today to be here with Mary Lou Brummond. Mary Lou is, oh my gosh, a dear friend and colleague of mine, as well as a valued Wow VIP Tribe member herself and an inner circle member. So I'm excited that you're here with me today, Mary Lou. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Michelle. I'm so excited to get together with you again.
So Mary Lou, we're talking today about the power of follow-up in building your business. Whether you're a direct sales company or whether you're brick and mortar or whether you're a service company, or really it doesn't matter what you do, follow-up really is a part of what I call client care.
Mm-hmm.
And so today we're chatting about how follow-up can actually build your business, make you more profitable, and make you more successful. And not only that, have your customers be so thrilled with your service and your client care, they bring more customers to you. So, and I know that you have been trained by the best of the best. You know, one of my, I would say, idols, because she really was, I think, one of the first women that stepped out to empower other women, Mary Kay.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Mary Lou, would you tell us a little bit about, first of all, who you are and your Mary Kay story?
So first of all, thank you, Michelle, for inviting me to join you today. I'm really excited. I love customer follow-up. It's probably my strongest value that I have in my business, and that's why I've been successful. My Mary Kay journey started just about 23 years ago, and I signed my agreement to help a girlfriend and to get wonderful products at a great discount. And little did I know that 4 years later, I was looking for something more in my life and really decided to take my business serious and go to work. So I worked my business part-time alongside my career as doing administrative work for a bank. And when the Mary Kay got to be more fun than the banking, I decided to leave banking and just do Mary Kay full-time. And that was 6.5 years ago, and I've never looked back. I think part of the journey in Mary Kay, first to tell you a little bit about me, I'm married to my Mr. Wonderful Greg. We've been married for 42 years, and we've got 4 daughters. And we have 2 amazing grandchildren. And so being in Mary Kay now really fits well in my life because I've got the flexibility to do what I want when I want. And if you work hard early in your career, then you can play hard later in the career. And
I love that. It gives me hope.
Oh, yes.
It gives me hope.
Always have to have hope.
So I know that Mary Kay has amazing training, and just to clear things up, because I know that Mary Kay is not a direct sales company or an MLM. Would you explain that a little bit more for me?
Okay. So Mary Kay is a direct sales company. It's not a multi-level marketing company. The difference between the two is direct sales is I buy my product directly from Mary Kay Cosmetics, and I turn around and I sell that product to my consumers. So we're not layered upon layered upon layered like multi-level marketing is. So Mary Kay sets a price for what the products, a retail price for what the products are, and I sell the products at that price. I am able to adjust them if I choose to, if I want to put on a sale or whatever. Multi-level marketing is a little bit different because every level, from what I understand, the price changes. And so, so we are direct sales.
Okay. I'm so glad you cleared that up because there's always some confusion around that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we've got a great definition. So, and I know that, Mary Kay, because I've read her autobiography. If you haven't read her autobiography, ladies, get your hands on it. Really did empower women in business, just like I try and help women in business through WOW. And so part of her philosophy was really looking after your client. And today we call that follow-up, or a follow-up strategy. So, and I know that you have built your business and earned many Mary Kay cars, 4 cars, amazing, with just the power of follow-up. So that's why I invited you to to come and share in this masterclass today of how did you use follow-up to build your business? What mindset issues did you have to get over in order to enact your follow-up strategy, and which ones build your business profitably?
So first of all, the power is definitely in the follow-up. Following up with your clients is not harassing your clients, which is what I used to think when I first started my business. I had that fear. It was like, well, I don't want to call them, because if I call them, I'm bugging them. And what if they don't want to buy from me? And what if they don't want to hear from me? And so the first thing I had to do was change my own mindset. And that's difficult because I had a banking background, and I know personally, when I would have somebody contacting me, it was always about the sale. And in my customer follow-up, it's not always about the sale. Yes, the sale is where I make my money, but when I make my customer calls, which I try and do every single day to make 5 to 10 calls, I just call my clients and I try to build that relationship with them, and I try to honor what they're looking for. So if I have been together with a client and I have given them a facial and they love the product and they purchase product, I have them fill out a profile which says how they want to be contacted. So the first rule of thumb is, if they say, I prefer texting to phone calls, if you're going to phone them, you're going to annoy them, because right from the get-go, they said they want to be contacted via text or email. So the first thing is to honor your client and how they want to be contacted. And secondly, and once again, in our Mary Kay business, we're really lucky because Mary Kay was very smart and they set up these profiles for us. So a lot of these companies, any of these direct sales companies, most likely will have that same type of system in place for you. So I would encourage you, if your company has that system in place, to use that system. If they don't have it in place, I would suggest you to make up your own template. Give me a call if you like, or pop an email off to me, and I would be happy to work with you to show you how to set something up. But when I call my clients now, it's not, hey, it's Mary with Mary Kay. Are you needing any products right now? No, it's always, hi, Michelle, it's Mary with Mary Kay. Do you have a minute to chat? Because first of all, if you're calling somebody and they're in the middle of feeding a baby or getting lunch on the table or any of those kind of things, you're catching them at a moment where they're distracted. So talking to them and allowing them to say, you know what, Mary, now is not a good time. Can you call me back this evening after 7? Right away, you've made a better rapport with that client because you are valuing their time. And it's not about you, it's about them. So that's the first thing I do. Once they say, no, it's good, I've got a couple minutes to chat, then I just talk about life. How have you been doing this winter? Did you get that bad cold that's been on the go? Are you going anywhere on holidays? And just finding out information about them. I'm lucky I've got a system in place that I can actually put the comments of a little bit of our conversation, so that if they tell me that, their daughter's getting married or their granddaughter's getting married or whatever they tell me, when I contact them the next time, 3 months down the road, I can say, hey, how did that wedding go, or how did that party go, or whatever. And their first thought is, oh my gosh, she remembers that? Well, I do, because I've got it all written down, right? So those are just a couple of points that have really helped me in my business. Every time I phone somebody, do they say that they want to buy something? No, because they don't run out of product. Everybody uses my product at different stages, and some use it faster than others. Some will make a mascara last a year. That wouldn't be my recommendation, but they do. But in the meantime, even if I know that they don't go for the products often, I still try and call them every 3 months.
I love that. A really good system.
A
Of
really great system.
So I know that there are some ladies, and I've heard them say it. Heck, I've said it myself. Of, I don't know what to say. I mean, sure, I want to call somebody, or I should email them, or maybe send them a message, or I've met someone at a WOW gathering that I really liked, and it's all about the show up and follow up strategy
Right.
with WOW. But I don't know what to say. Where do you start?
So interesting that you said that, because last week when I was down with a cold, my voice was not very conducive to making proper phone calls. So I just used emails. Normally, I think voice to voice is better, especially if it's people that you have just met, because they want to hear your voice. And so, but in my email, what I did is it was, hey, Susan, it's Mary with Mary Kay. I met you out at Rocky Mountain House when we were at the WOW luncheon on such and such a date. And make sure you put the dates in because there's so many WOW events. If you're following up with WOW people, you're not sure where you met them. And it was just, I love listening to your story. Find a genuine compliment. Don't just, pull something out of your head. If I write notes when I'm at WOW events. And so if somebody says something that catches my attention, I'll write that down so that when I'm following up with them, I can say, I love what you said about customer service or, contacting your clients. And then I would just put it in the body of the email. Love to have the opportunity to get together with you to get to know you a little bit better, to offer you a complimentary pampering session with Mary Kay. Let me know when is good for you. I've got these times and these dates available. If I'm phoning them, I will do the same thing. And if I get voicemail, I'll leave them that message. If I get them voice to voice, then it's just a friendly girlfriend conversation. Hey, Michelle, how are you doing? It's Mary with Mary Kay. Met you at the WOW event last week. Wasn't it fabulous? Oh my gosh, that Neil and Rocky was amazing. And, the presenters were fabulous. What did you get from it? And then I go into my, that I'm with Mary Kay Cosmetics and I always offer a complimentary pampering session. How's your schedule looking? Are you interested in getting together? Maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree. Maybe she's not interested in Mary Kay. And I always hope that people will say, you know what, I'm really not interested. I'd love to get together with you for coffee, but I'm really not interested. I'm good with that. And because not everybody in a WOW group is going to have something that I need either, right? So you always have to be conscious of those things as well.
Absolutely. Mary Lou, I know that Followup really helps you stand out from the competition because then you build that relationship. Your clients know that you care. So what are the advantages in relation to standing out from the competition, standing out from the crowd and being uniquely you in your follow-up processes?
So a few things that I do that are, I think, a little bit different than what most people do, just to make sure that you are treating your clients better than the competitors, because like you mentioned, there's a lot of competition out there. When you have a new client, send them a thank you card. Because like you mentioned before in the video, we get all kinds of flyers and bills and everything in the mail, but how often do you get that handwritten note that just says, thank you so much, Michelle. It was so great meeting you last week. I look forward to the relationship building that we are going to do, or I look forward to servicing you, and any kind of kind words that you can say to them. Something else that I do is when I'm chatting with my clients, I try and get as much information about them as possible. So I have, their name, their address, their phone number, all of those things, but also the date of birth, so that I can send them a birthday card. Because how often do you hear from people on your birthday? People will send you a text or they'll send you a message on Facebook, but how often do you get a written card? Once again, put a system in place where you follow up 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, and then 3 months after that. Make sure you keep in stock birthday cards, anniversary cards, sympathy cards, thank you cards. Whatever type of business you have that you feel that you can build a relationship with people by sending them a card is so important. And the last thing is rewarding people for doing business with you. So in Mary Kay, when somebody spends $50 with me, they get a gift with purchase. Just like if you went to the Bay and you bought a full skincare set, they always give you something. And I've even had clients have said to me, well, I buy at the Bay because I get all these free things. Well, I say to them, I'll give you free things. Just let me know what you're looking for. I'm not against doing things like that. So if they spend a certain amount of money, and you can have different levels. So I've got a level at $50, I've got a level at $100, and then I go up from there. You know your products and services, and you can judge accordingly with that. And then setting up a referral program. So Michelle, if you refer somebody to me and they spend more than $30 with me, I will have $10 credit for you on your next order. And it's
Well,
something that I
that's just beautiful.
there you go, right?
That's just such a reward.
Yeah. So, you refer 5 friends and then you get your next moisturizer, your skincare for free. So I think these are really important. And when you treat your clients with respect and you offer them the best customer service, they're going to become a customer for life. And then you go back to that 80-20 rule that, 80% of your business is going to come from 20% of your clients.
Absolutely. And the ones that you care for the most. So I think that quite often when I'm working with my clients, that when we focus on follow-up must equal a sale, then all of a sudden it feels yucky. It feels salesy. We don't want to be salesy. We say the wrong things to the person and then they're put off. That follow-up is versus like the mindset of, I met someone, I'd really like to continue the conversation
Mm-hmm.
and see where it goes
Mm-hmm.
and build a relationship. And I think that's where we get stuck as women in business, is that we get stuck in the mindset piece of, oh, follow up, I got to get a sale, versus I'm just going to call 2 people today that I met and tell them I'd like to continue the conversation.
Correct. Correct. So what I have found, because like I mentioned, when I first started in the Mary Kay business, I was really nervous about making follow-up calls or even cold calls. And something that really helped me get over the fear of the telephone, because that was the olden days when you actually picked up a phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that phone weighed 50 pounds. I didn't want to make the call. And something that really helped me out, and I would encourage people to do this, is go get involved in a charitable organization where you have to make some cold calls, where you're calling people that you don't know and you're asking for donations. And I tell you, after about the 5th call, your fear of making the phone calls is totally gone, because what you do then is you remove yourself from it. And I found that by doing that, I removed my sales pitchy voice from my calls when I was calling clients. And I've had some really great success with people that I have just called on a regular basis, made that first call to, introduce myself or reintroduce myself. And, the response I get is, now is not a good time. Can you call me back in 3 months? And because sometimes that's people's personalities. They don't like to say no, so they'll put you off. And what I have found is, by continuing, and when people say, you can call me back in 3 months or whatever, and I follow up with them and I say, hey, Joan, it's Mary Lou with Mary Kay. I talked to you like 3 months ago and life was crazy. Just checking to see if things have slowed down a little bit for you. And she comes back and says, no, I'm still super busy. I have had people that I have done that 3 or 4 times in a year that have become my very valued clients now, because I followed up with them, but I never put any pressure on them. I respected where they were at. They gave me permission to call them back, which I did. And now when they're looking for a product and time is ready for them, now they're thinking, hey, I need some skincare. I'm going to phone that gal that just kept calling me faithfully. She never bugged me and she never hounded me, but she was consistent in following up with me. So it's using that mindset of, in Mary Kay, we always talk about feel, felt, found. How do you feel, or how do you make that other person feel? Like I was feeling when I was making the phone call, I was feeling nervous, but I felt when I talked to that person that they were receptive, and I found that they gave me permission to call them back at a later date.
I love that.
Cool.
Feel, felt, found.
Yep.
I love that. So Mary Lou, also know that you talk about the 2, 2, and 2 system.
Correct.
For follow-up. Would you explain that to me?
I sure will. So when I meet somebody new, so if they come to my home and we have a pampering session, or I go to their house, and I always explain to people what the follow-up process is, so they know right from the get-go that I'm going to be calling them and I'm not going to be badgering them. So what I do is I say to them, so this is what my process is. You're taking product home with you tonight, or you're just trying product today. I'm going to call you in 2 days just to see how the product is working for you, because there's nothing worse than you purchasing something and expecting it to work for you and you break out, or you have an issue with something. So I say to them, I'm going to call you in 2 days just to see how the product is working for you. Then I'm going to follow up in 2 weeks, because sometimes it takes a little bit longer for the products to work for you. And then after that, I will call you in 2 months. And if everything is working good from there, then I will just follow up every 3 months with you, just to make sure that you're not running out of something. And I have found that even in my banking career, we did the exact same thing. Somebody opened up a bank account, we call them in 2 days to make sure that maybe there was something that they forgot to ask you. And they're not comfortable phoning you, but you're comfortable phoning them. And then once again, you call them in 2 weeks. Did anything else come to mind? Was there anything we forgot to talk about that, kept you awake 5 nights after we met? And then I will call you again in 2 months just to reassure you that I am here to support you and to follow up again with whatever you need. And it really is a 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. It's a really great follow-up system to use.
That sounds fantastic and so doable, and certainly not pushy as well.
No. And very easy, because once you put that system in place, then you can either have a diary system, or I'm a paper person, so I have a diary system in my filing cabinet that has 31 days and then the 12 months. And so if you make a phone call to somebody, and I'm great at taking notes, whatever. This was the old system that I used. I now have a computer system that does all of this for me. But I know there are so many computer systems out there, Michelle, that you can link on to something and just set it up so that it is a follow-up. And Google it, and I know there's lots out there.
Absolutely. So Mary Lou, when you are thinking about following up, I know a lot of women in business are afraid of, if I follow up, it's that fear of rejection. What if they say no? What if they don't like me? What if they think I'm too salesy? But mostly, what if they say no? So how do we overcome that fear of rejection in the follow-up process, or what I like to call the client care process?
Okay. So the first thing is, if you don't follow up with them, the answer is no. Right? Long and short of that.
Pretty much.
Is no, pretty much. When you're calling somebody, and do I get people saying no to me? Absolutely I do, because not everybody needs the product that I'm selling right at this time. So when I call somebody, and if it's somebody brand new, and I introduce myself and say, this is where we met and love to get together, and they say to me, you know what, Mary, I'm really not interested, I just say, thank you so much for being so honest. I so appreciate you chatting with me on the phone today. I hope you have a great day. If it's somebody through WOW, I say, I hope we can still get together for coffee. Because just because you said no to me doesn't mean I don't like you anymore.
Right.
So it's just a matter of being honest with people, you being honest with people when somebody is phoning you, and them being honest with you when you're phoning them. And just, if they say no, I'm really not interested, I hear it often. Pardon me. I've got a great skincare program that I'm using right now, and I'm really not interested in changing. And so I just say to them, if anything ever changes, you've got my name and number. I would be more than happy to connect with you. Or if you're ever in the market that you want to try something different, I'm more than happy to get together with you. You always leave it on a positive note, so that the door is always open if they ever want to come back to you. Because you never know what's going to happen down the road, right? 6 months.
Absolutely.
They could have a reaction to what it is they're using, or they're not happy with their bookkeeper, or where they're buying their clothing right now, they're not happy there anymore. Something has happened, so they're looking for somebody else to look after them.
Absolutely. And that's the whole point, to look after them. They want to feel looked after. So if we don't follow up, how will our clients know that we care about them?
Exactly. Exactly.
And you know, as women in business, we nurture by nature.
Mhm.
That's what we do well. So if we can shift our mindset around, I'm going to nurture my clients, I'm going to let them know I care, and I'm just going to not worry about the sale because it will come if I nurture my clients.
Exactly.
So, so
And
when
on
you,
the flip side, Michelle, so
mm-hmm,
being on the receiving side, um, we purchased a vehicle
mm-hmm.
just about a month ago, and I have not heard from the sales rep since I purchased it.
Oh
And
no.
to be perfectly honest, I'm a little annoyed. I thought,
Mm-hmm.
I left some good coin there. So I will be phoning him, and I'm just going to say, just to let you know, I'm in the customer care business as well. And as a client, this is what I would like to see from your place of business when I leave this amount of money there. Because no matter what our products are, we work hard to make money. And so when somebody is leaving money on my table, I think it's my due diligence to follow up with them to make sure they're happy with what they purchased, to make sure they're happy with who they purchased them, and to make sure that there's nothing else that I can do for them at that point in time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that, you know, we've all done this, I'm sure, or maybe it really just is just me. But I know that if I love somebody's product and I ask them to, you know what, this will probably last me for a couple of months. But my husband loves lavender bath bombs. Shh, don't tell him I told you that. I don't, he loves lavender bath bombs. And so, um, I had a lady who would make the most beautiful lavender bath bombs. And I said, you know what? Just get me on a program. You know, we normally use about 4 to 6 a month.
Mhm.
You know, give me 6 weeks and call me and just say, hey, it's time to refill and can I ship them to you? And time again, I said, you know, just she never called me. And then my husband goes and buys his bath bombs from Lush or something like that.
Yeah,
You know, and now we have a bath bomb collection, but it's not from the lady. I said, you know what? You would have a guaranteed sale if you just followed up and said, hey, Michelle, you're probably running out of product right now. Do you need a refill? And I'd be like, oh, yeah, let's just book it.
yeah.
Let's
And
just book it.
and it's just asking the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've got a client who, and I do this with my clients um, fairly often, especially for new clients. And after I do the 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, and then I put them on every 3 month system. And one client that I have down in Linden, and I phoned her one day, and she prefers texting. And so when we finally did get face to face, I was delivering products in person to her, and I said to her, I really hope I'm not contacting you too often. Because if I am, and I tell my clients that if you want to be contacted once every 6 months, I'll contact you once every 6 months. You tell me what you want, and I will follow up with that. And so I said to Sally, I said, I hope I'm not contacting you too often. And she said, oh my gosh, Mary Lou, I'm so grateful that you contact me when you do, because she said most times I'm at the very last of the tube, and then I go, oh no, now I'm out, and now it has to be shipped, and it's going to take a week. So she said, no, you're always on time. I'm so grateful for that. So once again, ladies, wrap your head around the thought that you're you're bugging people or you're badgering people because you're not. You're just offering them really great customer service. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And if you know your customer well, you know when to call.
Absolutely, you
And
do,
you know,
right?
I always say that um, my massage therapist knows me well. She knows that if I haven't already booked an appointment, if I don't have my calendar with me and I say, "Oh, yeah, I'll check, I'll call you back." And then everyone gets busy.
Yes.
Everyone gets busy. And so you get busy. And then I get a phone call about, you know, 4 weeks after my last massage. And she says, Michelle, by now, your shoulders are pretty tight. Your hips are pretty tight because you've been on the computer. You've been sitting for too long.
Yeah.
And I'm going, wow, you know me. And sure enough, I'm feeling tight and I need to come in. And she said, and she'll say, I have this date and this date. Which one would work for you? And she's getting a booking because she knows me. She knows I'm busy. She knows that by about 4 weeks, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and I need this. I need to come in and have a massage. So it's guaranteed every single time. And why I stay with her is because I think she cares about me.
Mm-hmm.
I think she knows me. I think that I trust her to know
Mm-hmm.
me. And that's that building the relationship on know, like, and trust,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. And if you think about it, if you go to the dentist, your dentist will always book a follow-up appointment.
Hmm.
If you go to your hairdresser will always book a follow-up appointment. 9 times out of 10, if you go for a massage, they will ask you when you want to come in again. So with our businesses, why do we have to do anything different? Can I give you a call in, 2 weeks just to see how the products are working? If, like I say, if from the get-go you're honest and upfront and tell them this is what I do, I'll call you 2 days, I'll call you 2 weeks, I'll call you 2 months. They're in agreement with that. And if they don't want that, and I've never had anybody say to me, no, I don't want you calling me that often. If anything, they'll say, oh, thank goodness, yes, that would be perfect. But if by chance somebody says, you know what, really, I think I'll be fine, call me in 6 months, you know then that they don't want you contacting them, and you have to make sure that you make a note somewhere that you're not contacting them for 6 months. The other thing I want to share, Michelle, is when I have clients that come to me, and once again, it's based on the products and services that you are offering, but I will have clients that will come and try my products and absolutely love them. But when it comes to the sale, and because I always do ask for the sale now, I never used to, but I do now, and it's as simple as, what would you like to go home with today? It's very wide open. If they
Hmm.
say nothing, then it's like, great. But sometimes I'll have people that will say to me, you know what, I don't like to waste product, and I will say, I totally get it. And then they say, you know what, I still have a lot of skincare to use. I'll just casually say to them, so how long do you think it'll take for you to use it up? A month, 2 months? And they'll say, yeah, probably 2 months. Do you mind if I call you in 2 months? Oh no, that would be great. And then you know what? If they still have some left in 2 months, then great. I will ask the same questions again. So do you think you still got a month left? Or do you want me to call you in 6 weeks? They'll call me in 6 weeks. And it just shows that I'm genuinely interested, not just I'm genuinely interested in them. Yes, they know that I don't do Mary Kay as a hobby. It pays my bills. And so once again, you're building a relationship because you're asking the questions that need to be asked, and you're receiving the answers that you need to hear so you can follow up effectively and efficiently.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And people will continue to add value to your business through
Mm-hmm.
their purchases if they feel cared for. Absolutely. So, Mary Lou, how much of an impact has the follow-up strategies had on your business and your profitability?
Oh my word. When I first started in the Mary Kay business, and I came into the business and didn't work anything for 4 years, and then became serious about it. And I would look at other people that had been in the business for a while and just see that they were getting all of these reorders. And the reorders is your residual income. And so, yes, you always have to be out looking for new clients. But I would not have been able to leave my job at the bank had I not built a fairly decent customer base that has been able to sustain me. And do I work every day still? Yes, I do, because I'm passionate about what I do. I do have the flexibility to work when I choose to work, but oh my goodness, my reorder business is, yeah, it's phenomenal. I love when somebody pops me a text and says, oh, I need all of my skincare again. It's like, cha-ching, you know?
Yeah.
But once again, it's because of the follow-up that I'm consistent with, and letting people know that I'm there to take care of them however it is. And so that has proven to be very successful for me in my business and has given me a fabulous reorder business.
Amazing. So ladies, when you're thinking about follow-up, rather than thinking about the follow-up to get the sale, reset your mindset.
Mhm.
It'll power up your profitability, guaranteed. And think about developing your client care system based on that feel, felt, and found, that
Mhm.
2, 2, and 2. And again, guaranteed. And it all goes back to 20% of your clients give you 80% of their income. It is true. Why? Because you care about them and you're nurturing them through, call it whatever you want. Call it follow up, call it a client care system, or sometimes make a phone call. And I do this from time to time where I haven't heard from somebody for a little while. So I just pick up the phone and say, hey, Mary Lou, how you doing? This is not a sales call. I just want to see how you're doing. I don't even want to talk business. I haven't heard from you in a while. I want to make sure if you're okay.
Mhm.
And so when people do that, they remember that you cared.
Yeah.
So all you need to do is remind them that you care.
I also, Michelle, something else that I do with my clients, especially the ones that are regular clients.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I try, like I mentioned previously in the video, writing down information about different events that they have going on in their life. Red Deer and Central Alberta is not really that big a community. And eventually, if you get the newspaper or you're on Facebook or whatever, just with social media, you see what's going on in people's lives. And lots of times you'll see that, somebody's had a baby or somebody has lost a loved one or somebody's just going through some crappy stuff in life. And you can tell by their posts and whatever. You know what? I call myself, my husband calls me the queen of cards. And I love having cards here so that if I see something, I'll take a minute to just grab a card out of my filing cabinet, thinking of you, and pop a little note to somebody. Because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I have had so many people that have come back and said to me, oh my gosh, I cannot believe the timing of your card. It's just something that I really needed at that time. And it just really makes people feel valued. And when people feel valued, they will come back to you time and time and time again.
Wonderful. And what else do we get in what I call snail mail? We get bills and flyers. But if you get something that's handwritten and a thank you card, that makes an impact.
Yeah, you do the happy dance, right?
You really do.
Yeah.
You really do. It really makes a difference. It really makes a difference. And Mary Lou, I just want to let you know that you make a difference in sharing your wisdom with the WOW VIP tribe. So ladies, you will find Mary Lou at lots of WOW gatherings. Sometimes she joins us for coffee chat, and she is part of your VIP WOW tribe membership. So hang on.
Bless you.
Bam, there's an editing moment. Okay. Okay. Let's wheel that back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you will find her at various WOW gatherings around Alberta. She's part of your VIP tribe. And so you can reach out to her, I have no doubt, because she really loves to empower women just like you as much as I do. So please reach out to her. She has a wealth of knowledge on client care strategies. Let's call it that. Let's not call it follow-up anymore, because I love Mary Lou's statement of they don't care about what you know until they know you care.
Mm-hmm.
So I challenge you ladies to do a 30-day client care strategy and pick up the phone, call one person a day, email one person a day, text one person a day. Don't text them about a sale. Don't text them about a product. Just, hey, you know what? I'm thinking of you. Hope you're having a good day. They'll remember you, and they'll keep coming back. Mary Lou, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom in this masterclass with me today.
You're so welcome, Michelle. Thanks for the opportunity to be able to share. And for you ladies out there, if there's anything I can help you out with, feel free to contact me. I'm on Facebook and, of course, through the WOW Group.